It's happened again. It's happened again. Manchester City. It's happened again. Yes.
Okay, that was the clean version.
Yes.
Yes, we may be having had a run of games that rhymes with Man City, but we beat the Championes for the second time this season, and hopefully this is a indication of better things to come.
Probably the only team that's going to do the double over Man City this season. It's absolutely glorious. So yeah, it's good.
Apparently, Kane and Son built a stat: 36 assists and goals connected, which is the most in any given season in the whole of the Premiership history.
Not any given season, just altogether.
Either way,
they share the record at the moment with what's it called, Drogshit and Lampface. I can't think of a thing, but yeah, one more, and they will be the record holders. So it's going to be lovely. It's going to be lovely. So let's bring on some guests, Jamie. What do you reckon?
I think we should look towards someone from our home shores and someone from Florida.
Do you reckon? Do we give them the music?
Yes, a short snippet.
Both in one, or sort of like one for each.
You have the buttons.
I've got the buttons, but you make the call.
Give them a full shebang because we beat one of their dad's teams.
That's true. So one for each of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the first. Here we go. Barold, welcome, sir.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Fuck Man City. Sorry, it's not 10 minutes yet.
Not 10 minutes yet.
Damn. Sorry.
Well, you're past the watershed in Manila. It's 11:30 here.
Sorry.
Oh, that's true. That is true. So yes, so that's the first. Let's bring on the next, who seems to be having some kind of explosion in his little studio, but we'll see what that's all about.
I think
Dan, you were going mental there in the back room.
Because Fred just scored.
Oh, okay. Yes, well.
I told you there'd been a goal scored. That's why he was going crazy.
By the way, Jamie and Rez,
yes.
you deciding who to put the intro on was like VAR and the referee deciding to give a penalty or not.
Well, no, this was giving you on.
Imagine that in my head.
This was giving you honor, not deciding whether you deserved it or not.
I think it's more. I mean, in terms of the amount of thought that went into it, it's probably about on par with the officiating in the Premier League. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
All I could say is get some craft paper, preferably light blue, and cut out the shape of that orb in the sky that comes up every night, and just walk around the house with it. Because blue moon, and you say nothing, so you can't say that you're winding him up, but you're just walking around with a blue moon.
So we're going to get some comments, but I do need to announce that we are in the presence of class here on Spurs Asian TV because a very, very special lady is here. The one, the only Gaguma. Welcome.
Well, it was one of the other Gaguma. It was either you or my wife.
Hi,
they're the two special ladies. So,
Nicholas, hi.
did you hear the news that apparently the Spurs summer tour is going to be in South Korea?
Mm-hmm. Yes, July 22nd, I heard. I'm so excited.
So you're getting the whole shebang. Son is taking all his teammates to Seoul and points around South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have a Tottenham Hotspur mukbang.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I heard they even might play. I'm not sure about Juventus, but yeah, I'm just excited they're coming. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, just make sure that you get your approach right, so you get a chance to speak to Mr. Sun.
Oh, I wish.
No, you never know. No, you can.
We're going to make it happen, Gaguma. We're going to make it happen.
And just so we can raise the average blood alcohol levels, we've got another guest. Yes, indeed. It's Bradley.
He's drinking the window cleaner again.
I've got the window cleaner again. Wash it up liquid.
Windex.
Well, it's the antibacterial one, so I reckon it might cure COVID. So.
Oh yeah.
What in fact is it?
I believe it's peach. I think.
Peach what?
Peach. It's Fanta over here. Fanta have a mystery flavour.
Oh, so it's non-alcoholic. Yeah. It's just.
Oh yeah, no, it's not alcoholic. No, but it's always peach for some reason. It was raspberry one week, but it's normally peach. So.
Okay, maybe that's the easiest flavour to make. I don't know.
Yeah,
let's say hello to some people, guys. Come on. Okay. Let's say hello to some people.
Can we take a little vote here? Rez, could you put a little compilation together of all the best snippets over the next few weeks of Gaguma on Spurswasion or other like SSS or whatever, and then we can send it to Sun's media team so they're aware that she is.
I would, if there were some video snippets of Gaguma to do so.
Maybe Gaguma, that might be motivation. Motivation. I show my face, I get to see Sun.
A big up to Mr. Kaufman. Good afternoon, sir. Fantastic to have you with us. Hello, Ben. Hello to Mr. Ian Meth, Shaggy 1712.
He wasn't me.
Do go and visit places. Mark Swift is with us, telling you to hit that like and sub. Do it now. It will make you feel better. Brad is everywhere. He's wondering where the link is. I don't know. I couldn't find it either.
I think that might be his euphemistic term for one of our panelists that might be on later if he gets home quick enough.
Less said about that, the better.
Okay.
Catman Jeff, welcome, Catman. Good.
It's a Catman.
Catman.
Excellent.
I've just seen a menu.
And just obviously, he bigged up. Jess bigged up everyone except Brad because he wasn't here. But then he came and he begged you up as well.
Hey, Catman.
All righty, guys. How is everyone?
You should say that. Was it? No. I'm having my senior moments. There was a cartoon character that would be like, "Yee, Batman, yee,"
and the man.
That's you, Jamie.
Alan is in the house as well. Welcome, Alan.
Hey, Alan. Haven't seen you for a while.
Aaron.
I call him Alan.
Okay.
I presume Dan, you're watching the Leeds Man United game, so you can keep us up to date with the score.
He's always watching. He's.
Brad.
Oh my God.
I think he's got ADHD. He's always multitasking.
I've just seen the score. It was 1-0 Man United last time I checked, and that's 3-2 to Man United.
Yeah.
So.
Yes,
it was a good goal by Fred.
Well.
It's a really crazy name. He's a Brazilian player, but he's called Fred.
I know. He's a weird person.
So, guys, I don't know. I mean, I'm just wondering. Did anything happen yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
No. Nothing out of the ordinary.
No, it was fairly bog standard day yesterday, wasn't it? I don't even know.
It was very
just a small matter of doing the double over the league leaders.
Oh yeah, there was that. Yeah, there was that.
Oh yeah.
Not much. So to be honest, I think what with the fact that there's not really anything of note to discuss, we should just close the show. Really, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
No, we beat them.
Come on.
They denied me a night of sleep because at first we scored, then they equalised, and I started going into my here we go, and because of it was like 2 a.m, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep. But then second half started, and we went 2-1 up, then we went 3-1 up, and VAR 2-1, and then the penalty. I was like, here we go again.
Is that why you've got green hair today?
No, that's actually the green screen behind me, and for some reason the space between my headset and my head goes green against the green screen.
Don't lie.
If I take the headphone off,
it's still green.
It's less green. Look, space.
More green, less
green. Yeah. That didn't work for you, Jamie.
It's a new system. I'm trying to regrow the hair.
You need to.
It's the greenhouse effect. I've done that before, and I'm in a country where it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, nearly at midnight. Too much danger of frying tonight.
Well, the lack of hair will help. I mean, to be honest, it's not very smooth because
actually, no. I did it recently, and even if I don't understand all the Tagalog, the Filipino language, I knew that a bunch of teenagers walking past me at the mall were saying something like "Nice one, Baldy."
Okay,
so
embrace it. That's what I do. Embrace it.
No, I do embrace it. I accept the fact that I am a man of diminishing follicles.
Yeah.
Okay, no, Catman. If it was hair, I would be in trouble with my wife. I don't think my wife would appreciate me having green hair.
Jamie's turning into the Hulk. Don't upset him.
No. When I was a kid, I liked the show, but I kicked my pants when Bill Bixby's eyes changed because I didn't know it was special effects, and so I got freaked out by the fact that he's getting angry.
With apologies to Kaguma and Dan, my board spot is actually a solar panel for a sex machine.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, Brad, please. Oh,
actually, having said that, there are 2 other of my mates at church who are both got slaphead, and we actually called ourselves the solar panels. So,
all right. Actually, no. There used to be an Australian rules footballer, and they used to take the pee out of him by saying, "Your head is outgrowing your hair."
I thought they took the pee out of him with a catheter.
Oh, stop!
Oh, Jamie.
Right,
sorry, Kaguma. It's late. I'm trying to stay awake.
I think I'm going to introduce the penalty box. Right? Anyone who makes comments like that goes in the penalty box. So I'm first.
What?
Oh, that's better. That's better already. Oh, in fact.
All the watchers went up by there. Did you see all the viewers went up?
Don't take me out, mate. That's poor.
No, I just thought he was going to hit the mute button on me.
No.
Anyway, does anyone going back to the game yesterday? I thought it was from my point of view, it was a really strange game because one, I'm hungover, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and it's like, oh, football's on tonight. Oh, it's one of those matches where Man City away, you think, oh, this is going to be awful sort of thing. You sit there, and then what the Spurs do, they score in the first few minutes. You think, oh, don't do this to me, Tottenham. Don't do this to me. Don't give me hope. And then, of course, Man City. And then you sit there thinking, Well, we're defending well, but it will be a mistake that lets them in, and then the Reece makes his mistake, and they're back in the game.
I think Rez's huge banner just scared Barry.
Yeah, and then Man City,
It's like, we won, yeah.
And then Man City attack us again, and then we go at the other end and score. And you think, oh, don't do this to me, Tottenham. You just tempt me every time you do this to me. And then, of course, the penalty at the end. Oh, no, then 3-1. You think, yeah, 3-1. And then, of course, they come back and they say, no, it's offside. It's offside. And then they get the penalty, and you think, well, yeah, that's a penalty. You can't really argue with that. So I'm getting myself ready to go out to get some drinking. I'm sitting there. And we score, and I thought Kudashev was miles offside, and I thought, oh, they're going to chalk that off. So I didn't even celebrate because I thought he's offside. They ain't going to give that. Wow. And of course they showed it, and he was clearly onside. It's just one of those really weird games. And then they played 9 minutes of injury time.
Yeah, that was the worst. That was the worst part for me.
Yeah, because there was a bunch of time wasted.
Yeah,
there was time wasted. Injuries.
Lloris got a yellow card because of time wasted. Yeah, but I was sitting up at 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, "What's going on? Just blow the whistle, full time." Yeah. It went to 9 minutes. Extra.
And every time they attacked and we cleared it, you thought, that's it, we've done it. And then the referee still around.
Did you see the reaction from Craig Pawson?
Yeah. It's easy to. Yeah.
Was he the fourth official?
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry, but that carries a lot of alarm bells for me. Okay, an official should not be reacting to.
Shouldn't, but can I just sort of be the what's that word? Be the
devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate. It's very easy to take.
Not advocate. Advocate.
I'll give you the devil's advocate. Yeah, give me the devil's advocate and lemonade. But no, it's easy to take a clip like that and isolate a little incident and make something of it. It did look bad. I must admit, it did look bad. But it could have been anything.
But then you saw Conte in the background, absolutely having a little bit of a gasm. Sorry, running about in the background.
Oh, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. But it might have been maybe he just thought, oh shit, I've left the cooker on, and realised, and at that moment that we scored the goal. I mean, it could have been anything, It's maybe they have to do something extra.
We have to accept the fact that whether people are officials or not, they do actually have teams they support.
Oh yeah, this is true. We're all human at the end of the day. Well, if I'm a fourth official and I'm watching Spurs play and we can see the last second goal, well, yeah, I'm going to be a bit disappointed.
Okay, Rez, I think Daniel Levy's human.
You wouldn't be selected for that because I certainly over here, certainly years ago, when anyone applied to be a referee, they were specifically asked, which team do you support to make sure they weren't in charge of officiating.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, it's true.
So you're saying that there's you think there is mischief.
Maybe.
I'm not making any suggestions. I'm just saying.
Maybe Guardiola had been on it all half, on it all half, and he thought, "Oh no, he's going to be in my ear again now," And maybe that's what it was. It did look bad
because we used to have Fergie time, and I was starting to think maybe we was getting Pep time.
What do you guys think of this? Ian is saying that apparently Man City held an inquest last night into how Harry.
But also Pep sent. I don't know whether it was he's put a message out there praising the way Kane played, or he actually sent it to Harry Kane. But apparently, Pep sang Kane's praises last night in a message which may or may not have been sent to Harry himself.
But is Harry
I'm not sure Inquest covers that. I think Inquest is like an internal sort of discussion.
Pep Guardiola was talking about Kane in the post-match interview.
Yeah, but he does that because he's a tit. But
what's worse is Graham Souness. Graham Souness said, "Oh, Kane's put himself in the shop window," or words to that effect. That's the worst. And when you look at last week, with all the the Italian interview he did, everything was a storm in the teacup, and the media, Sky Sports and Talk Sport radio.
Excuse me, I listen to them. They keep me connected with home.
Yeah, they made it into something it clearly wasn't, and maybe I've got age on my side that I'm a bit more wisdom now. But I saw that interview and I thought, well, actually, he says that we're weak. Well, yeah, we are numerically. I mean, on paper, what you said on paper, well, yeah, you can't argue with that on paper. We've got less players than we had before the transfer window. So on paper, and that's how I took it. I didn't take it as, me and the board don't get on, blah, blah, blah. But they made it to something it wasn't.
Well, if you're thinking about people that stir, Simon Jordan.
Well, I know I haven't seen anything of Simon Jordan, but Jason Cundy, whose name is spelt wrong, I have to say. You can
don't explain that.
No, I won't.
That'll be going on for 2 days.
A complete arse. He had a little 3-minute clip with him and what's his name, Jamie O'Hara, and Cundy's a complete arse. And I shouldn't have watched it because I normally refuse to watch anything on Talk Shit. But I thought, you got me now. It's only 3 minutes. I'll watch it. And he was just a complete arse. And they made a story out of something that wasn't a story. And I'm so grateful that Conte in his press conference says, well, what's going on? What are you talking about? Is it,
And then afterwards, he goes out and says, this is the best squad he's ever worked with.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he didn't say it was the best squad he'd worked with. He said it's the best group of players he's worked with because of who they are.
A group of players, the squad.
Okay,
yeah?
we're
getting it the other way. Yeah, Matt Law, I think, is the one who started this with his commentary, and then everyone jumped on the bandwagon for that.
Matt Law's generally normally okay, actually.
But the thing is, this is the issue.
Dan,
we got a news flash here from Dan.
4-2 Manchester United, and that is an unbelievable goal. It was Elanga who scored it, but Bruno Fernandes.
Right,
wow.
Can we not talk about other teams? Honestly.
The game's about to end now, so I'm pretty sure.
Right, it doesn't matter.
It's up to us, though.
There's another game.
No, it might backfire. I was going to say if Manchester United won, that might mean that Dan can come out of his room, but that would actually make his dad more miserable.
Yeah. But we've got a number of comments in there that I think we need to cover.
So free Dan THFC. Oh yeah.
Jamie, your audience is talking to you.
Dan THFC.
Your audience is talking to you, Jamie.
Okay.
I rated our shithousery 10 out of 10 yesterday. What are
Yes, Aaron. Yes, Aaron.
Definitely Aaron.
20 out of 10.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely a joy to watch. It really was, because that's what we've been lacking over all these years. Everyone else does it. We should now. Although
Emerson Morale is about as good at football as he is at his shithousery, because he was not very good at that as well.
I'm gonna start the Be Nice to Emerson club, actually, because I really.
Yes, I like Emerson.
So, okay. See, we've brought life to Gugamar. She's just been listening to our babble. Now, okay, Gugamar, share.
Oh, about Emerson? I really like him.
Yeah, I do as well. I think there's a player there. He just needs a bit of. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I don't think if we want to contend, if we want to be a big club, we can't keep accepting. He could be in the squad, but I don't think he should be in the starting 11. I think we need to get a.
Excuse me, young man. You just cut off a young lady down there.
Yeah. I agree.
Not you.
Yeah. Sorry.
I agree, Dan.
I don't know. Young people these days.
I agree, Dan, that if we're going to challenge the titles, we need a better right wing back than Emerson and Doherty, for that matter. So in that area, we're not well served. But at the moment,
until the summer, that's what we've got.
I think the people that this hate for him is just out of control, and it's not right. He's the one player, and I get to see a lot of him, because where I sit, when he's going down the right in one half, he's very close to where I am. He really puts in, and you can see when he makes mistakes, he feels it. He doesn't like making, and he tries his very best. So I think
there is a portion of the fan base that is very fickle. They'll be doing cartwheels after the Leicester game, and then the next time we do something wrong, suddenly the world's ended.
Yeah. Mind you, I'm sort of like that myself.
Yeah.
What we have, look, this again, I mentioned this recently. What we tend to forget is that football is a team game. There is, yesterday, for instance, when Lloris sort of, let's say, fumbled the shot which allowed them to get their first goal. Everyone said, "Oh, Lloris makes a mistake. Lloris makes a mistake." It's like, you know what? There's no one point in football where you can point to, or very rarely is there one point in football that you can point to and say that was categorically the cause of the other. Okay, because at no point is football static except at the beginning of a half, essentially, right? That's the only time that you can turn around and say that is the first event that caused something else. But that one event caused everything that comes after it. For instance, I saw when De Bruyne, when Lloris took that ball badly, De Bruyne was running in on him. So he would have had that in his mind when he moved his body. You know, the pressure that was put on him from the shot would have had an effect.
Stop the cross.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that we can critique players, absolutely. But we as football fans generally, not just Spurs fans, we have been gorged on this idea of individual performances, player ratings. How did this one player do? How did that one player do? Because that is sellable. When you have a commodity like a big name player who is a quality player, you can market that a lot easier than marketing a team because there's so much discussion.
I just have one thing to say.
So,
Barry,
yeah,
Barry,
Yes.
Success
for what?
for where you've just been.
Success, yes, and success. Cheers.
Sorry, back to you. Sorry, Rez.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Glad he got that out of the way.
I think that this idea of hating a player because they're bad or their quality isn't good enough is foolishness. By all means, critique their performance, but a player can't help their ability. They can't suddenly become good because you think then they're shit. You know, we have a go at, say, Emerson. He's not going to be able to change his ability.
He can probably improve, though. He can probably improve, as I say.
Yeah, not in the space of a game.
No.
Or a couple of games. It's going to take months of training and more practice and sort of doing what his manager tells him to try and develop as a player. But you're not going to see instant results. And so critique them. Critique them by all means. But if they're crap, and he's crap. I'm sorry. He's crap. Okay. Right now, he is not a Premier League standard right back, in my view. Yeah. Right? But I don't hate him for it. I just wish we had someone better.
We're going to either have to him improve till he gets to that quality. And at 21 years old, we saw it with Kyle Walker. It took him 2 or 3 seasons. So he can improve, or we can get someone that's better. Yeah, I'm not saying that he's the great right wing back he is, but I don't think he's as bad as everyone seems to think he is. I don't think he defended really well yesterday. And when we had this conversation about who would play at right wing back against Man City, I would have selected Emerson every time because he's a better defender than Doherty is.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how simple you go. So, you know, and yesterday he defensively, he can't cross the ball to save his life. We know that. That can improve. It's a skill that he can improve. Maybe his, vision's wrong. I mean, he did, had a perfect chance to put a ball in for Kane, and he went for the back post for Sessegnon, which if Sessegnon volleys it in, it's a great ball, but, it wasn't. But, I think people do have, and I'll tell you what annoys me. If someone gets in their head, they don't like a certain player, then they're always watching out for every single mistake that player does. Correct. And they don't see anything good.
A certain Canadian views on a certain Brazilian.
Well, I mean, that's just one example of it. There's lots of different ones. But before we carry on, then let's there's a couple of people that have arrived in the chat. So a big up to Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
Ellie.
Why is Ellie happy? Oh yeah, I remember weeping Man City again. It almost went out of my head. Whereas happy as you are, Ellie, good to have you with us. Who else? We've had a couple with Prithvi is here. Levy out.
Hey,
Absolutely. Good to see you, Prithvi. And I thought I saw someone. No, it's just those two. I thought I saw Derek in the thing, but it's not. So yes.
Mr. Kaufman's talking about Dyer.
Actually, at the risk of being put in the penalty box, Derek left, and a lot of other people also left. It's probably Derek and the Dominoes effect.
Get out.
Okay, respect the fact that's older than I am.
I know.
I'm nearly 50 years old.
Yeah, that's only for a certain age you'll get that joke. But
yeah,
you. Well, this comment here. Eric Dyer.
Did Eric Dyer give a good account of himself?
Dan, it was a pop group in the 60s.
Eric Clapton,
led by Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
You must
Derek
have
and the Dominoes. Yeah, you might actually, Dan. You might have heard of a song called Layla. It's a fairly famous song, fairly well-known song. That was Derek and the Dominoes. Yeah.
No, I think we're drawing blanks here.
Just written about George Harrison's wife that he was having an affair with. So there you go. Bit of rock and roll trivia.
Dan sat there like, what the hell are these?
I have no idea.
Yeah, what Dan's thinking is New Kids on the Block is what he thinks is old rock and roll.
It's not ageist at all.
Watch Your Step. Was that one of theirs? Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
Did he give a
Eric's surname is like our jokes. Absolutely Dyer.
Did Eric Dyer give a good account of himself yesterday?
Yeah, he did, and you can see him organising. You watch him; he was organising that back five. He was doing it. He was pulling them up. You know, he was excellent.
Mr. Kaufman's comment.
Yeah,
Eric
brilliant.
Dyer, SS hair and leadership.
Yeah.
Well,
does he have the eagle eyes?
Alan didn't like his hair, but did like it. To be fair, I can see where he's coming from with that one. That hair was extreme, let's say.
We're talking about Thunderbirds are go.
No, we're not. We're talking about the fact that he had a very, very shaven head. But how did he play? Talk to us. Dan, what did you think of Dyer's performance yesterday?
Dyer was fantastic. You could see how much we missed him. He was organizing. He even had a little bit of a discussion with Hugo Lloris after he made the mistake. But the only thing I think he made a mistake was when...
Albeit that Lloris is the captain.
Yeah, but you don't need an armband to be a captain and a leader.
You need an armband if you can't swim.
Keep going, Dan.
Rez, keep playing you out, Jesus.
I'm this far from doing it. I swear on my life.
Give him the red.
I've only got this. I'll show you a red lighter.
I've actually got a red card.
That's orange.
Yes, go get that.
That was a carrot.
Dan's going to get the red card.
Carry on, Dan. You were saying
he's gone to get the red card, Rez. Oh, he hasn't.
He's right. I can see him right in front of me.
He wasn't a minute ago, Rez.
There you go.
I gotta go use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back.
See, at least Barry has the courtesy to say that in the private chat. Dan just broadcast to the world. I'm going to take it down.
Kids of today.
Gaguma.
Yeah.
Talk to us about Eric Dyer.
Oh, definitely. He was wonderful yesterday. Just even from the beginning, you could just tell that everything was it felt like the players were a lot calmer with him in the back and more composed. And the way that he was directing people and like being very vocal and communicating. Yes, I think he was really fantastic.
And that's where the key comes to sort of like defending is that Conte will give his instructions, but you have to have someone on the field that makes sure they keep to those instructions. And I think that's where Dyer comes into it. I think he's very good in that respect. But yeah, I thought actually yesterday's game. Now, obviously, Kane was outstanding. Absolutely brilliant. But I think yesterday we won because we were a team. That was an excellent team performance yesterday. They literally did Conte's instructions to the letter, and I can't think of any errors. Yeah, okay, Man City got through a couple of times and got crosses in, but that's what happens in football. They're a good team, Man City. Lloris, although he shouldn't have spilled that, but then that save he made against I can forget who it was now. That was immense. That was one of his best I've seen him, because that was in. I'm watching, and I think that's the goal. That's in. And he somehow, as Brains McLeod said on the fan show last night, it's almost like he took his arm out and just threw it at the ball, sort of thing. That's why he hurt himself, sort of thing. But yeah, that was so I thought yesterday was an absolutely brilliant team performance. Yeah, we've got to play with that passion again against Burnley, and we've got to play differently against Burnley, because obviously we can't do that against Burnley. We've got to go out and try and, take the game to them. But against teams that we know are going to have most of the possession, that was a really brilliant team performance yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
But consistency. Consistency. We need to keep it moving.
Exactly.
Yeah, Nick, we watched the game together, as you remember. Tell me about Dyer. What did you think?
Yeah, so he like everyone else has said, he was commanding the defence. He was telling Romero to go and cover Emerson. He was telling Davis he was just commanding everyone, right? And look, the defence played as a defence yesterday, and there's still room for improvement, right? I don't think anyone deserves to get less than a 5 or a 6, maybe, as a team performance. But like Brad was saying, it was the key moments where we won that game yesterday. We didn't have the greatest amount of possession, which we knew we weren't going to do. But with the possession that we had, we were clinical. We had the incidents where Hugo's save was one of the incidents. You had the time where Højbjerg lost the ball, Bentancur lost the ball, but you're going to do that when Man City, a team like Man City, are going to put pressure on you, right? But the key moments at every time in that game yesterday, we controlled them, and we were clinical. We didn't, Manchester City had hit the post. They had that shot. They had chances, right? But compared to our chances, we had the better chances. And I think it was earlier. I think Sim was saying on We Are Tottenham TV that the last 18 shots against Man City, we've scored 13 of them.
Oh, really? Wow.
Proves how. So we might not have had. So Man City must have probably had over 100 shots, but actually, out of the 18 shots that we had, we've been more clinical, and I think that was a point. I also think that the system was right, the personnel was right, and barring a few additions, so a left centre back, a right wing back, and a striker, and we've got Skippy to come back. We're in a good place, and it just goes to show when you have the personnel, you play the right formation, and the guys are all together. And Sonny and Kane, there was that spark yesterday, Rez, that we were saying they looked happy. Sonny's interview afterwards, he was smiling.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that in the last few weeks, and it was a culmination of everything that we wanted to happened in that game. If you look at Southampton and Wolves, what happened in those games is nearly everyone in the defence was poor. Nearly everyone in midfield was poor. And yesterday, Hugo, he got some stick because he didn't catch that ball against Wolves. He then, instead of trying to just clear it, he tried to catch it, and then he made a mistake. But the amount of times that Hugo saved us far outweighs. But look, if Harry Kane misses a chance, no one's going to remember him missing a chance. But if Hugo makes a mistake, you're going to remember that, right? And I think yesterday was clear. And yeah, Ben, I think it's up there with the Arsenal game when he was wearing like Dan was saying, with the Zorro mask. It's up there with that performance. But look, we need to kick on now. We can't have. I can give it to Bobby K, Aaron, if Rez is busy. But we can't go into Burnley. We can't go into Leeds. We can't go to. We need to kick on now. We can't. This is the point where we need to kick on. We can't just go, we're up for Man City, and then go and I don't care what happens against Leeds or Burnley. If we win 1-0, that's fine by me. So
we'll come to that talking point actually, because it's something that we do need to cover. We'll come to that next, but before we do that, we have a guest. the man, the mystery,
You
the
are.
enigma,
You are.
Kuva is with
So
us.
we've got Kulu and Kuva.
Good afternoon.
Good
How are you?
afternoon.
Kubashevsky.
I wasn't going to do any streams today, but since it's persuasion, I thought perhaps I better come on.
Absolutely.
Can't let Rez get too far ahead on the competition.
No, absolutely, mate. We've got to keep it. We've got to keep that competition hot. I tell you.
Absolutely.
So the next talking point. Do we believe?
Jens. I've just seen Jens. Ricky Villa.
Do we believe that this team can go to Burnley and show the same intensity? Not can, but will they go to Burnley and show the same intensity and same character that they showed yesterday?
This is the big point, isn't it?
Kuba, what do you think?
Absolutely. The double's still on. That was a 6-point. Yesterday was a 6-pointer.
We completed the double. We've done it twice over Man City.
Exactly. I mean, we've managed to show now that all the things that we were so critical of in the last few weeks, we showed we can actually do them when we apply ourselves properly. We were able to defend as a unit. People knew their roles. Kane and Son are back with their understanding working again. Kulishevsky seems to be slotting in very well now. There was a little question mark about him to start. He looked a little bit lost in his first game, but he's looking like the real deal now.
Yeah, he's very strong, isn't he, Kuba? It's very strong.
He is. Yeah, he's very nice touches on the ball as well, and he can cross it. In a way, it offsets the fact that Emerson can't, because now perhaps we can have Emerson defending and Kulishevsky getting up the right wing and offering that width there.
There was mention when we got him that they've spoken of him in terms of being the follow-up to Ibrahimovic. Maybe not in the same play style, but just in the fact that he's going to be the next strong forward from Sweden.
Well, that'd be great. I mean, if he's got half of Ibrahimovic, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
Before we carry on, let's just say a couple of hellos to some people in the chat.
Yeah, Mr. Grooves.
Mr. Bobby K.
Bobby, happy birthday, Bobby.
Hi,
Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you think. And another legend, Graham, is with us.
Graham, how you doing, Graham?
Graham, fantastic. And
you know on his point, I was just going to make that point. Yeah,
we're up to here with legends. There's another one in the chat. Ricky Villa. Good to see you, buddy.
Stop! You haven't come on the screen yet.
It's fantastic. Oh God, there's another one. They just keep popping up. There's like mushrooms everywhere. Jason Groves is with us. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Jason.
It's fantastic to see you all. So the question was though, guys, and obviously we want to know what you're thinking in the chat. Do we honestly believe that when we go to Burnley, we're going to see that? Do we think that we will see that? Because
after this performance,
my concern
confident,
is,
but not totally.
My concern is this: we've had great results in the past, where we've done, something amazing, and then the very next game, it's been, where did it go? Where did it go? And I'm wondering if that's a feeling that is shared. Do we have hope? Or are we being cynical? That's the question.
I think we've had this tendency to be cynical because it's like our little way of protecting ourselves. But we've got to believe at some point that good results will follow on from good results.
How often have we seen that at Spurs? Though?
This is a problem. Really? Yeah. This is a problem I have as a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. I've seen it so many times that we've had a great win and everyone's been so happy, and then we've fallen the next hurdle, and it's happened. The only time it never happened, I thought, was in that last season at White Hart Lane under Pochettino, that we just kept winning games. We should. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying that we can go to Burnley and win and go to Leeds and win. Of course we can, but I guess my answer is I honestly don't know. This club throws you every time.
Well, this is Aaron's view, is that he thinks we're a team again. Are we?
Yeah, I'm looking at the difference between our result on the first day of the season. That 1-0 against City we had then. We relied on a lot of luck there. No matter how well the team played, Man City squandered a lot of chances. Some of them absolutely golden. This performance, we denied them the opportunity to even have those shots.
Yeah,
we were in control of it. We fully deserved this win. There was no luck element involved. We could have had more. They could have had a couple. Yes, they could have had a couple more. Perhaps the one that hit the post, Hugo pulled out a blinder of a save.
Yeah,
that was.
But we had one disallowed on the fraction of an offside decision. There was some Kane's 1-on-1. It was only a brilliant instinctive foot out from Edison. I mean, we could have had a couple more goals each, and we still would have won that.
Yeah.
But what I was so pleased about is from the first minute to the very last, that defensive shape and stubbornness at the back remained. We looked like we were going to keep them out for the rest of the game.
Okay, I didn't have a cable connection. What was our formation? Because we was going on about
5-5-4.
I think it was 5-4-1-2.
Yeah.
But different from the 3-5-3 that we said was totally wrong.
It was a flat back five, basically.
Yeah, the wing backs were definitely more defensive. It was definitely 5.
I think it was 3-2-1-2. 3.
Oh, that's Ted Rogers.
3-1-2. Is that right? 3, 6, 7, 3-3-1.
It was virtually 3-5-4-1, wasn't it?
3-4-1-2. 3-4-1-2. Yeah. I think.
No, 3-2-1.
That's why we beat them. We had 12 players.
80% of the game it was 5-4-1, basically.
Yeah. It was.
The flat back five. It suited players like Højbjerg and Emerson in particular. They didn't have to show any more creativity than usual. As soon as we get to the games where we start needing an attacking wing back again, Emerson's going to be lacking again, unfortunately. He just isn't good going forward. But I'm always fair when I say give credit where it's due. And yesterday, his defending was immaculate. He was excellent. The whole back five was. Højbjerg as well. I've been super critical of this season. But yesterday, there was. I've said it on some other streams. There was a 20-minute period after we went 2-1 up when City really stepped up a gear. The intensity of their play and the tempo at which they were playing noticeably got quicker, and they were starting to overrun us in midfield. And I was fearing for the worst. I think most people were starting to get a bit edgy then. Then Højbjerg just suddenly took it upon himself to step out from the cage he's been in all season, and it was like the Lionheart Højbjerg from last season. Only for about 20 minutes, but it was exactly when we needed it, and it sort of negated that City dominance of that part of the game. And the team got a lift from it. Bentancur, he seemed to raise his game as well in tandem with that. Instead of chasing shadows, he was suddenly finding the timing and getting his foot in when it mattered. It just gave the whole team a little lift. That was fantastic to see. And it's those players I was so critical of. So many of us have been critical of a lot of the players this season, but they showed that they can do it yesterday. It was no fluke. It was well marshalled. It was went to a clear game plan, and everybody did their job brilliantly. The only thing that was missing was maybe we should have had a couple more goals. Really stop them in their own backyard. That would have been great.
That would have been.
But going to Burnley now, big change in spirit of the team. We look like a unit. We look like people are playing for each other. We look like we've really taken on board where we are frail normally.
Well, let's hope there's no snow.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. It's about the only thing that'll stop us at the moment. The only thing that's going to change is how much more do we need to attack Burnley? How much are they going to sit back? Because if we're forced to put more people forward again, we won't have that same defensive solidity that we had yesterday. It's a different kind of game, so let's see how they adapt.
But we also won't be up against a team with so many attacking options as Man City, so you probably won't need as much defensive solidity like we did yesterday. You want to be solid, obviously, but you won't have to be solid for like 90 minutes like we virtually were yesterday.
On the other hand, when Man City start panicking and they're having to sling it into the box from wide areas, they didn't have a lot to offer up there. We could soak that up easily.
I didn't know.
They got Weghorst. He's what, 11'2" or something. He's going to cause problems. So we have to be a bit
in high heels.
In high heels, yes. Yeah, different kind of problem being offered.
Is it on telly on Wednesday? Anyone know?
Not in the UK. I think you have to.
If it isn't, message me on Twitter and I'll give you a link.
Okay.
So before we get to the next thing that I think deserves talking about, we've got another guest to come in. So, as has been the wont this episode. The sun-kissed tropical shores of Canada, we have Mr. Bobby K. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
I'm buzzing, Rez. I'm buzzing like we all are right now. You know, it's a great weekend here. Good morning to everybody in the panel there. Nice to meet a few new faces there. Jamie, Dan, how are you? Kuva, been seeing you a few times. This is the first time I actually think we're face to face, though. But
likewise, mate. Good to see you.
And then the legends are obviously here. Nick, Barry, Ricky, is it? Where are we going with today? Which alias are we using? I know Rez and Brad are easy to pick up on. So, and Dan, young man, it's nice to see a young Y word in there. So it's good on you, man. I thought these two little ones were going to be your best friends soon coming up. So, I'm buzzing, guys. I'm buzzing. What a great start to the day. It's Sunday morning over here. You know, we get to have our cake and eat it too. I had this wild prediction that we were going to win 2-1, and I was expecting Hugo Lloris to just have a phenomenal game. He made that blunder, but it's like we touched on in a couple of earlier shows. Our goals lately have come from blunders, stupid mistakes. We're not conceding open play, good quality goals that we look back and go, oh, man, what a scorcher, da-da-da. Even yesterday, a blunder goal and a penalty. So it was it's I think we've got something that we can really put together and get that push for the top four on. And I think one of you already cracked on about hey, look, man, one of you already cracked on about getting the double in this year. So, hey, why not, man? Why not? This is the thing, like especially after what happened with the last few results in Conte's interview, all of us got very negative quickly. And the roller coaster went dipping down all of a sudden, and a lot of people jumped off the bandwagon quickly. But this is life of a Spurs fan. You got to take the ups with the downs, and what an up we're on right now. So let's ride it out. Let's make this week great. And I don't think we're gonna have our typical Spursy reaction on Wednesday with Burnley. Traditionally we would lose that game.
That's
but
I think don't use the Spursy word.
Oh, well, sorry. I thought the Y word. Okay, we're getting rid of the S word too now.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie. First interaction with you. Forgive me.
No. We're not getting rid of the Y word, but the S word is
every
negative.
Single letter that we can for every single letter of the alphabet, we're trying to find a word that we're not allowed to use anymore. Right?
Well, the media team has something. Has to have something to do.
S so far. That's those.
Arsenal.
Oh, hey! You watch your language, young man.
We call them bumminal. Just to get around that, we just call them bumminal.
There
instead.
you go.
Anyway, onto the talking point. There's something that a number of people that I've seen online have basically been saying, and I mentioned it with Nick yesterday when we were watching the match. The relationship between Kane and Son seems to have been a bit frosty of late, but yesterday seemed to have gone back to what it was. What are people's thoughts? Let's start with Bobby as the newcomer. Bobby, what do you think on that?
You know what? It's funny you say that because you touched on it perfectly. It was frosty, but you know what, Rez? What relationships do we go through that we don't have a little bit of a dry spell or a little bit of a little fight here and there? With real relationships, real love, be it through a partner, be it through a friend, be it through family members or whatever. You got to take the good with the bad, like we do with our Spurs. There's going to be the ups and the downs. So obviously they went through a little bit of a rough patch, but boy, did they show us they can get back together yesterday. You know, they showed us, no, we can wash this away. We're big boys. We still love each other. And the smiles on the two of them at the end of the game, doing the game interview together, you know, arm around each other, smiling, beaming, glowing again. And I just really, I love that feeling, man. What a great feeling. You know, I heard Dan earlier on We Are Tottenham TV there talking about how his dad is a City fan there. So, you know, that's what young man gets to go and rub it into his dad for a full week now, or twice for the whole year.
No,
so
he's just been stuck in his room. He's under house arrest.
That's what happened. That's why he could be on all the different streets today. He's locked up.
Yeah, you're not coming out until Man City beat Spurs. Oh, you can be in there a long time.
It's ironic. It's ironic considering your dad's a cop. So,
on that note,
he's literally under house arrest.
I just got a news report.
You know what? That explains why he supports City. Oh, sorry.
I just got a news report from the year 2053. Apparently, a 40-year-old man has finally been released from his bedroom after Man City beat Spurs. Oh yeah.
Great, Rez. Great one. Poor Dan. Well, you know what? All of us collectively together, I think we should start a GoFundMe account for Dan, and we'll just like slip him some product and everything through his window or something. You know, he's a skinny little lad. We got to make sure he keeps fed at least, right?
He just needs a steady supply of 2% milk and a good variety of cereals. He'll be okay.
Oh yeah, a cake arriving every week with a nail file in it.
Yeah, young Dan needs to. I think you need to leave now. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, I need to go. But thank you for having me.
You got a football game? You got a game today?
No, I'm going to somewhere.
Okay.
Gonna eat somewhere.
You go and eat somewhere.
Just don't go into a vehicle alone with your dad. Make sure you win.
All right, come on, you Spurs.
Best of luck. Let's a quick hello to Alan Harris. Hope you're well, pal. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on.
Good. You guys know that guy?
Gaguma.
That guy.
Yes.
All right,
Gaguma has not said anything about her future husband.
Yeah, I jumped in with the
relationship with Harry Kane.
Sorry,
Gaguma, Sonny and Kane's relationship. What are your thoughts? Has it been frozen? Has there been this chill between them? Some people have been saying that they've not celebrated with each other. They've been keeping their distance from each other on the pitch. But yesterday they were smiling and happy and hugging. What's your view on that?
I love the Son King duo. I felt, like recently maybe the connection wasn't as strong. But yesterday, for sure, I felt like it was back on, and they were really in sync with each other, and the connection was really strong again. So, yeah, I'm really happy because I feel like they're the best together, you know?
Are you looking forward to having Harry Kane as your brother-in-law? No, just kidding. Brad. Harry Kane and Son. What do you think?
Well, we seem to forget as football fans that footballers are human beings, and they, as Bobby was saying, they have ups and downs. They have good times, they have bad times, and we had all the good times with Kane and Son last season, and then we had a bit of bad times with them, and now they're back to good times. So I don't think we tend to try and read too much into a lot of this sort of stuff. Oh, they're not getting on. Oh, you know, the old Son's pissed off because Kane wanted to leave. Blah 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 blah. But no, I think it's just ups and downs of any sort of relationship, no matter how strong that relationship is. You know, it's just one of those things. So I don't, as long as they're out there scoring goals and playing well, that's all that matters really. So I don't think it's anything to. Yeah, it's nice to see. Don't get me wrong; it's brilliant to see them back to being smiling and happy and that. But that's the same with anyone that you watch and that. It's. No, we think we tend to make too much out of it. And, yeah, obviously it causes press coverage, isn't it? It causes a Sky pundit to sort of say, you know, it's just there. It's just part of life now, isn't it? See, I'm a cynical old man as I'm getting older.
Well, I think the sort of the argument, or not the argument, or the observation has been that when one of the reasons that they've sort of only just got to the record of most Premiership link-ups now has been that there's been a little bit of a chill. Do you think that? I mean, is it good that the two of them are getting on? You know,
don't get me wrong. Of course it is.
It's important that they're getting on.
Yeah, it is because it's a good thing, but you know, it's we make too much of it of the bad times, and yeah, if they're getting on, of course we want them to be happy and friendly with each other. But then, you know, you hear about Crooks and Archibald who didn't get on, and yet they had a great couple of seasons at Tottenham. You know, so you know, it agrees. And Gilzean, going back even earlier, Gilzean was a virtual recluse. You know, and so it's you can get this as long as they score goals for Tottenham and link up. That's all you need. Cole and Sheringham at Man United, another partnership that didn't get on. So it's
Cole
it's great.
And York.
Cole and York, sorry. It's great to see them happy and smiling. Of course, hey, look, no one wants to see an unhappy Son, really. I mean, that is one of the worst things in the world, an unhappy Son. You know, so yeah,
he's got the best smile in the world.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like you sort of you feel it when he's unhappy. You know, it's just the natural human reaction, but. Yeah, as long as they're doing well and they're scoring goals, it's brilliant. Yeah, no, I think we read too much into a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I think another thing to consider. Did anybody actually have some sort of source from the club saying this is what's happened, or is it entirely fan speculation that they had a fallout?
Entirely fan speculation.
Yeah, maybe they didn't at all. Maybe it's just the lack of form and their frustration. It's we guess at a lot of things. We're going to be completely wrong on a lot. I mean, it's a well-known quote that fans don't know 95% of what goes on behind the closed doors of the club. There's a lot of things. If your strike partner isn't performing and you're struggling to get goals as well because of it, of course you're going to be a bit miserable.
Well, look at Salah and Mane. They're saying that they've got that issue over there, but look, they're still lighting it up. At the end of the day, the end, the end result is there. The product is there. They come out and they're professional. It's like I always say in my personal.
The most relevant comment that I think I've seen on this is actually this one.
That gets to the meat of it, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
And there's a lot of it as well. There's a lot of it.
But you're right, Kuva. Like, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. A lot of it is speculation, and of course, we all know that the odd time the British press gets it wrong. 99% of the time they're spot on with everything they're saying. Sarcasm there.
I didn't pick that up.
No, Rez, I was dropping it so heavy as well. I was just throwing it, But there's so, and I think that's why we have a lot of players turn away from England. Like, we've seen it in the past that they just say, I don't want to play there. It just happened with Kessie saying that he doesn't want to play in England. He just would rather go anywhere else other than England, pretty much. So lowered our chances of getting him. But who knows if that's true, if it's got something to do with the culture here, if it's got something to do with the fear of the media or anything like that. You're off. All right, buddy. If it's got to do with the fear of the media or anything like that, or if the weather, there's a million different factors.
It's the weather, definitely the weather.
Well, I'm in Canada, Rez. So if you want, we'll go outside to minus 24 today and 4 feet of snow, and you guys get no sympathy from me.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's why players don't want to go to Canada, right?
Well, and the fact that we've got the MLS only, and you come here when you're retiring.
Although Canada at the World Cup,
We're getting it done, man. These youngsters now are finally going to get some recognition. Now everybody knows Alphonso Davies, but there's this Jonathan David kid that's just lighting it up as a striker. I'd love to see Spurs kind of reach in and poach him before his name gets out there, because he is just a great little guy.
Yeah, Bobby, they can't poach him, because if they poach him, they'll have egg on their face.
He's okay,
kicked him out for that.
Bridge too far. Okay, I know it's his show, but come on.
The administrator gets admin. Done. Oh wow, Rez flexing his power first thing on a Sunday morning. You know what? This is great.
I was instructed.
Oh, that was exactly what he needed.
Oh, right, that's it. You're now.
Sorry.
No. What he's going to say next is the yoke's on me.
Oh, that's it. You know what? I'm out. That's it.
You're all getting too excited about this.
This is great.
Come
Too
on.
excited. Look, Nick's in serious thought though over there because he's just thinking about. I'd like some eggs right now, actually. Bacon, sausages.
No, mate, I'm on a diet. I've been swimming, eating healthily.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't do that. Why would you ruin your body like that?
Bobby, what have you done to me, man? I haven't had my breakfast or lunch, and you're talking about eggs and bacon and stuff.
I'm sorry, this is breakfast right now. I'm so sorry, Rez. Come on over, buddy. I'll cook us up some. I got some nice female bacon that needs to be fried up.
You picked the wrong player for sort of egg puns. Anyway, it's Jordi Alba you meant. Oh no. Okay, I'll go now. Okay.
Now Kuva gets booted. Kuva gets booted now. No, he gets a 5-second timeout.
I think so. Bye.
You know what? But look at this. Look how happy everybody is. We're all smiling. We're all beaming. You know, it's amazing how a football team can do this to your life. You know, it's absolutely crazy what a downward spiral they can put us on. But you know, when we have moments like this, the euphoria and the joy that we're going to carry into the next few days, we'll be buzzing. You know, and rightfully so. It was a great performance all around. I think Barry was on. Nick, or what name are we going with? Barry? Okay. Nathaniel. Oh, we're going proper, are we? So you know, we touched on just the way the team was playing and everything like that, and the what to expect and everything like that. But it's I honestly think Conte is going to shake the S word out of this club. I honestly do. I think that if anybody can finally get Levy to stop being a piece of crap and open his wallet properly and invest in the right players, it's him. If there's anybody that's going to get these guys shaking off the mentality properly and going forward, it will be him. Now, we expected that from Mourinho when he came in, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. For some reason, he just didn't click with players. But you know, we all know that Conte is a much better man manager. Mourinho has a bad habit of rubbing players the wrong way and kind of throwing them under the bus. Where, you know, Conte's him right at the end there, going crazy with everybody and jumping into the stands. That was great.
Speaking of great moods, I think you're absolutely right, Bobby. We've all been on a bit of a high, and I think we can contribute to that and make us even happier because Bob Spur TV.
Bob Spur. Hey, Bob. Welcome in. Good to see you feeling better. You got a great name, too.
But he's also trying to keep our feet on the ground. If you see his comment, he's trying to make sure that we don't lose our heads.
No, it's true, though. It's true, though. It's certainly true.
It is his presence with us. The fact that he is talking again and he's in our chat.
He's active. Spot on, Bob.
What is making our
we need to get him to speak to Pep. You know, this is not the Harry Kane you're looking for.
Hey, Jude.
All right. We've also got Hotspur Boy 69 in the chat.
He's
Welcome.
not a boy, then, is he? He's a middle-aged man.
Lots of big ups, lots of large ascensions. Bob, both of them. Actually.
Big up, Bobby.
Both of them. Yeah. And Aaron as well. So yeah, I think ultimately we've had a good result, you know, and it's nice to do that. I mean, personally, I've made no secret of my utter detestation for Man City and everything they stand for. And Nick will attest to this, but yesterday when that third goal went in, I had a digit on each hand, facing the television, and making my thoughts about a certain bald penis made very clear.
It was a double thumbs up, wasn't it?
It was a double thumbs up. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Check out. There's a thing on YouTube about reactions to yesterday's game, and it's on about 9-10 minutes. So literally got about 3 or 4 Man City channels, but they got the Irish Hotspur on there as well. So it's actually very entertaining. And there's one guy, and he's just like, when they equalise, he's going sort of thing.
Yeah. Yes.
And then when you see when we get the third goal, he's just like there, just sort of standing there like sort of totally speechless.
The way that I like to describe it is that a venomous dagger of disappointment and pain was stabbed deep into his soul, and I enjoyed it.
Happy birthday, Bobby K.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
happy
it
birthday,
is a
yeah.
happy birthday.
Yeah.
It is a happy birthday.
Listen, we need to sing. We need to sing the usual song when there's a birthday. It's happened again. It's happened again. Manchester City. It's happened again.
But guys, to tell you,
I want
right,
that to be my new birthday song, by the way. Sorry.
There's a legend.
But-
There's
but-
another legend in the chat, guys. Where it's just every. I mean, look,
Hey, Mr.
There you go.
There he is.
Daigle, who was at the match and was
Yes.
also
he was there.
who
with
was
the boys,
also
yeah.
at the Leicester match.
Leicester match,
And
yeah.
so
What's that
every
tell you,
match,
boys?
every away game he goes to, we win 3-2 with
3-2.
a last-minute goal.
Minute go.
And as long as we're playing teams that end with City, not Hampton.
Yeah,
We're
we
fine.
need to
Yeah,
we
that's
need to
true.
we need to
That's-
revoke
that
his
was
Canadian
away.
citizenship then.
But
So
Bobby,
he
that
has to
wasn't
stay.
away. That wasn't away. That was a
Fair
home.
enough. Fair enough.
So
So
what I
we
think
gotta
we're
stop
gonna
playing
do-
at home.
This is the proposal that I have is that what we're going to do, we're going to do a big crowd fund of all Spurs fans, and every couple of weeks we're going to fly Brian over for an away game, right? So then we go there, we win 3-2, and then we'll fly him back home.
Ship
again.
him back.
Yeah. I think that's a workable
That's a
plan.
great idea. Great idea.
There was
give
a
Lee
time.
the bill.
There was a time in my life that I never saw Spurs live lose in 20 years.
Yeah.
That's how
When I
old you
lived
are.
in Australia and I came over to England for a holiday and I'd see the occasional live game and I never saw them lose. Admittedly, it might have only been 6 or 7 games, but I never saw Spurs lose.
So we
Okay,
need
so
to
it's
send
only
Brad
fair
back
then.
to Australia and do the same thing.
I was just gonna say, Barry, we gotta coordinate that we either send Brad or Brian to one of the games, and then
No,
that
I've
way
got the
they get a
answer. Guys,
rotation
I've got
and
the
a
answer.
break as well in between,
I've
right?
got the answer, guys. I've got the answer. It's no. It's not about sort of getting them tickets like flights back and forth. We just need our own private plane, right? So
I want that
Fly
too.
that for us.
right? And I'll fly it, okay, even though I've got absolutely no qualifications, right? And
I can
and
drive
go
a
and pick
bus.
them up. We'll do like a round trip, Canada to Australia, and then round the other side of the earth, right? And we'll take them to away games. No, actually, we'll drop Brad off at the stadium, then drop Brian off wherever we're going, maybe with a parachute or something. Right? We're going full Shelfside Spurs show now, right? Drop them off, and then we'll do an airlift to take them back home again. And we'll just keep circling the globe. There you go. I've done it.
When do you get a break though, Rez? Because you're just gonna be doing pickup drop-offs.
Well, you can be my co-pilot, and we can just like switch like
We'll
halfway.
just swap
halfway.
around. All right. Then.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
a
we
deal,
like it,
buddy.
yeah.
But we got to get a screen inside the cockpit because we got to be able to watch the games too, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's great as well because we're not in any one country as well. We don't have to worry about sort of like rights issues and stuff. We can just pick up wherever we are. It's
We're
great.
Spurs
'cause
fans. We don't
watch
worry
it.
about that stuff anyway.
Just getting your internet signal off of Elon Musk's satellites.
There
I
you
was- I thought
go.
you were gonna say
There
Elon
you
guys.
go.
antenna in his head,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that can
Yeah,
also.
I'm just hopping on for about 10-20 minutes, right? And nice to see Bobby K on, right? Nice to see Coover on,
Thank you, Eugene.
right? Yeah, big up to you guys and Nick and Barry and Nathaniel, all right? And Uguma, nice to see that. But what I felt yesterday was Harry Kane is telling the MCT owners, right? Yeah, value me at £75 million, you suckers.
Exactly. Exactly, Eugene. Good for you.
Value me at £75 million, and this is what you're missing, right? Keep crossing the ball into the box with no one to hit it.
I think Kane actually, if anyone had a point to prove, I think Kane did just there. It's almost like, well, all that controversy over the summer. So how can I finally prove to the fans that I really love Tottenham and want to stay? Score goals at Man City again at the Etihad, and had probably one of the best games he's had since I can recall. But yeah,
That's true.
I think
Alan
Shearer on
by the way,
Match of the Day summed it up.
The man I
He's-
have
he-
to blame for this YouTube addiction, by the way, right there. Brian. Oh, Bobby, come on my channel. Come on, Tottenham on tour here and there. And then all of a sudden, now I've got a little podcast area set up. I bought myself a mic and a light and everything. And I'm speaking when I haven't been on a stream for 24 hours. You know, what
you get withdrawal.
I do. But you know what I'm really loving about it? I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't know. 2 months ago, I didn't know any of you. I didn't even know who We Are Tottenham TV are. I'm not the YouTube guy. I didn't watch these things. You know, my kids are on YouTube watching people play video games all the time. Absolutely disgusting. I don't understand that. But then when Brian got me involved in this world and it's introduced me, the people I have met just because of this journey, just over the last little while, this group right here has just, you know, it's so refreshing. It's so amazing because, like they say, I guess misery loves company. So when we're down together. But right now, man, we're buzzing together. We're all smiling. We're feeling good, you know, and it's a great energy. And yes, Brian, I do love it. And you know I do. Right. So it's just, what is that?
That's last week at the pub, Beehive Pub, before the Tottenham Wars game. Where the Orange lads all flew over. So that's virtually you know, who's who of people on YouTube content there.
What I was saying,
it's brilliant.
What that shows is that no matter where you're from, if you come over for a game, there will be people there that will take you along with them.
Yeah,
it was so wonderful last week.
It was,
even though the result was awful.
Yeah, that's actually going to ruin the perfect day, wasn't it? The result.
We're not talking about that one, Rez. We're talking about yesterday's game. Let's not go too far.
No, I'm talking about the social stuff. I'm talking about the social stuff.
Yeah,
you know, that sort of tendency. We really do act very familiarly, if that makes sense. You know, it is a feeling of family. It is a feeling of sort of being part of a wider group, not just as fellow Spurs fans, but just generally.
Good luck, Bob.
Yes,
that's going to be good.
Forward to that.
Yeah, see you soon, Bobby. See you soon. Right.
And you're right, Rez, because that's exactly how I met Brian in the first place. We've got a little community here of Toronto Spurs supporters that we meet at this pub called the Scotland Yard. And it was only a couple of years ago that I met Brian, and it was one of those relationships that literally 5 minutes after meeting the guy, I felt I'd known this guy for years.
Yeah,
you know, he immediately clicked. You know, we had this in common. We loved the football in common. My children were with me, and he was just. So my kids absolutely adore Brian. They absolutely adore him. They love the fact that every second word starts with the F word when we're watching a game together, and they jokingly call him the F man. And you know what? It's great because you know my little man. As soon he doesn't call him Brian. He won't. As soon as he sees him, is that F man, Daddy? Is that F man? Yeah, that's F man, buddy. You know, that's your illegitimate uncle there. So
I've never heard Brian use the word flowers.
Only when he's baking.
Or for Foster's. Castlemate Forex.
Bobby, September, possibly October, I'll be out there with you.
Well, then September, possibly October, I will make sure that I have a date cleared to welcome you and buy you your first pint, hopefully, before.
Yeah, I should be there in end of May. So
Bobby, I thought you were going to say I'm going to be over in the UK to not.
I'm so terrified of flying right now. I'm grounded until this whole COVID nonsense stops. Basically, for personally, I'm just terrified.
Sorry, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I was gonna say, why is Brian dressed like that? Are you back in Canada?
No, I'm in an Uber, and they have to. When you're in an Uber, you have to wear it. But I wanted to just come on and say hello to everyone, but especially two. And it's only I'm only saying two people because it's always a pleasure to see Gugama in a chat. Love seeing her, and obviously Bob. Hello, Gugama, honey, and also birthday boy Bobby K. Hey, how we doing?
I'm well, brother. I'm well. I was just singing your praises. Yeah.
You weren't here when we sang the song for Bobby's birthday. It's happened again. It's happened again.
It's happened again. That's my new birthday song.
Fantastic. I mean, mate.
The choir needs a bit of work.
Well, it's our first performance together, Kuva. So
Yeah, come on,
we
Kuva.
can be faulted that we needed some time to gel, right?
Yeah. So it's like bum 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 bum. It's happened again. It has happened again. Manchester City. It has happened again.
Down a lower key.
Was that better, Kuva?
That's impressive.
Kuva, is that a tear in your eye?
Both eyes. Weeping from every orifice.
Oh,
Oh boy.
oh boy.
So Dago, man, look what you started, buddy.
Okay, no, I didn't start this, but you're an addict now. You're one of us. It is the most highly addictive thing, but you know what? It's the best, most highly addictive thing after a performance like yesterday.
Yeah.
100%, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is. I mean, obviously, I was there, and then Rez and Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant, Mark. Do you know what? It's like doing that. It's like Hot Shot Tottenham. I'm gonna have to come up with a song for that. I'm gonna have to come up with a song. But mate, honestly, they call it the scenes yesterday. I mean, like Rez was just saying before, I went to Leicester, and then I went to this. I'm going to Leeds with the boys on Saturday, so I'm going for a hat trick. I'm put a £1 bet on 3-2 with a last minute winner. Oh mate, it's just unbelievable, especially after the week and a half we had since Southampton. What an absolute performance. And there's my brother Superman's in the building. Mwah, love that man.
He wants the Indian version of the song.
I think YouTube would have something to say if I tried that.
Well, don't worry, I'm the Indian, so I guess that's directed at me. Just for you, Bob. It has happened again. Hoi, hoi, hoi. It has happened again.
Well, there you go, Rez. You can do the Iranian version.
Keep going.
Oh my goodness, it has happened again. Bye bye, city, you're shitty. Oh, then of course the light bulb turn into finish off the song. Hoi, hoi.
I could do the Iranian version. It has happened again. It has happened again. Manchester City. It has happened again.
Come on, Eugene, you're next, man. We want the Asian version now.
Oh dear.
No, not the Asian, the Malaysian.
The Malaysian, sorry.
I can't do it.
One of the funniest
I'm
things,
too tired for that.
If I had my guitar plugged in, I could do the Metallica version.
Hey, there you go.
Listen, change the stuff.
Uh-oh, Dago's going to get he was just about to do the Hebrew version
before
for
you
us.
asked me to do the Jewish one.
I just said it. Come on, in Hebrew.
Moving on.
It's in the comments.
No.
It has happened. It has happened. It happened again. Sorry.
Rez are on fire today.
It's just the tune. I didn't do anything else. Just the tune.
It was brilliant. Brian's carrying over his internet issues from we were talking TV.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
The funniest thing when I was with Brains McLeod.
Love that guy, by the way.
At Wolves, and you guys know he's from Motherwell, he's so Scottish, and he was talking about how whenever we sing "Being a Y Word," he puts on this sort of mock Cockney accent to fit in with his mates, you know? And just and at the sort of at the 100,000k party for We Are Tottenham TV, Ben was just singing this at the top of his voice over and over again, and everyone was joining in, and Brains was doing this sort of Mockney accent when he was doing it, and he bemoaned the fact that he couldn't do it in his natural accent. So I basically sat with him and said, right, I'll tell you what, I can do a Scottish accent. Why don't we, just the two of us, do, you know, the version together, you know? So it was like, being a being a, the thing I love most is being a. I'm not going to say it because of YouTube, but yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. We need to get.
I mean, he's a great mimicker. I mean, let's face it. 20 years ago, he was falling. Got himself a record deal, pretended to be American. So
yeah, absolutely. YouTube strike.
So you can say that. I can't. I'll have Homeland Security outside. What did that Indian man say? Oh no!
you'd have American Homeland Security outside, not even Canadian Homeland Security.
What's the language? Yeah, Canadian Homeland Security is two Mounties showing up and saying, "Hey, you want to get coffee?"
We hear you've been saying some unusual things.
Exactly. Yeah, and you were singing in a really funny accent. What is this that happened again? What has happened again? Tell us right now what has happened. And then I'd say, well, just ask a gentleman named Pep Guardiola. He'll let you know.
Well, actually, as a Canadian, how does the Lumberjack song go down there? The Monty Python Lumberjack song.
Oh God, you're asking the wrong guy. I know I'm old today, Brad, but I'm not that old. And I tried to westernize myself. Like I learned how to like toboggan and play hockey and stuff like that, but I didn't get into the lumberjack songs. I haven't cut a tweet out of my life.
It's a famous Monty Python sketch. It's sort of I'll have to find a link for it, but yeah, the lumberjack song.
Now you're going to have my curiosity piqued. Now I know what I'm going to do on my birthday. While everybody's singing happy birthday,
a lumberjack.
Monty Python something.
Yeah. It's one of their famous sketches. It's not very complimentary to Mounties, but
I was gonna say Rez has got the whole tune going. Look at that. He's looked it up right now. That's why.
Yeah, no, it's a great song.
Oh, sorry, I got my family yelling.
Oh. So yes, everyone do. Yes, we haven't said it. Everyone do please like and subscribe to Spurswasion TV. Very much appreciated.
That's it.
Wonderful regular hosts, and then obviously from time to time you get a complete nut job like me running things. So we cater to many audiences.
They let us on.
Well, yeah, this is it. I mean, I allowed Coover on, I let Bobby on. I don't
know, Rez.
I'm just happy to hear Guguma's voice. I see her everywhere in everything, and I'm just like, wow, this lady is a champion.
We are waiting for a camera.
She's still up. It's 2 a.m. in Seoul.
I don't think she sleeps. I don't think it's a matter of being up. I don't think Guguma slept probably in the last 3 weeks. I know she hasn't slept because every channel, everything that I ever just tap into and try to get myself more and more involved with all of you and all of your shows and try to support you as best as I can. Guguma, man, you are a rock star.
Guguma
honestly,
woman, no Guguma man.
So it's amazing.
I think we all of us.
It's addictive.
It is addictive. Why do you think you've seen me so much lately?
Why do you think Nathaniel's vaping?
As Ben says, Guguma is the sunshine of the community, and I think, to be fair,
right on, Ben.
She deserves a song. Right, so everyone together. It's happened again.
It's happened again.
It's happened again.
But it's not her birthday.
Oh, it doesn't have to be.
I thought that was the new birthday song.
It's your birthday song, but it's also the Guguma appreciation song as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it. See, why they're taking letters away from us for words we can't use, Rez is increasing our vocabulary. Well done, sir. Well done. There you go. Music
is all about the fight back, Bobby. It's all about the fight back.
There you go. We're not taking it. We're not going down. We're wise.
No problem. But guys, thanks for being on. Rez, thanks for being the host. I'll be hopping off, right? And guys, take care. I've got an early shift tomorrow, so of course we're all basking in the glory at the moment. Let's hope we continue this form, we continue the spirit, and continue this fight all the way to the end of the season, right? Yeah. If we maintain that, right, we will be going far. But if we don't, let's see what happens, right, guys? Have a great show, right? I'll be pulling myself out soon, and. Right, and to all the guys in the chats, right? Thanks for your support, right? VV out.
A pleasure again, Eugene. VV out.
Oh yeah. So I think we're getting to the part of the show that I like to label any other business.
You know what? I want
that's
to give a
that's
little
the
bit
polite version. That's the polite version.
I'd like to
Actually,
throw
Rez,
out
yes, I do have an issue,
true, by
Rez.
the way. This is true. This is completely 100% accurate, by the way.
Rez,
Yes.
I would like to know why you're bigging yourself
right,
up
Aaron.
as the complete nut job, by the way.
Oh, am I an incomplete nut job?
I was going to go for half-baked, mate, because it fits in better.
Yeah, I can take that. I can take that. Yeah.
Actually, in any other business column, I don't know if anyone's seen the 10-minute 100,000K subscriber show that We Are Tottenham TV put together from the party. The funny thing was you all know about the getting Iggy confused with Rez. That I think was it Brains?
Go on. Yeah, Brains did. Go on, Brad.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing was when you watch that 10-minute clip, every time that Rez is on there, it's just basically Rez and Iggy sitting together. Every time you see them, it's them sitting together. It's hilarious.
What are you suggesting, Brad?
The funny thing was, when they came in, they're the same height. That's the thing about it.
So they were next to each other, so they're not the same person. That's what you're trying to say.
You're thinking more Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Oh, Jamie.
Guys,
I have got a question for the whole panel.
I have before you ask a question, I have a confession to make. I am actually a time traveler, and Iggy is me from 20 years hence.
In which direction?
I leave that to you to decide.
You said that tomorrow.
That's too important.
We're not sure if it is the old or the younger version. Maybe it's Benjamin Button.
Go on, Cooper. You're gonna ask a question.
Do we think we're going to play the same team again against Burnley as we did today? Yesterday, I mean.
We'd be foolish not to. Who do we sub in? This is the issue, Kuva, that we've got no bench. Other than Bergwijn coming in, do you give Winks another shout? It's as soon as the transfer window closed, Winks went back to his old self and making us go absolutely insane and wonder why he gets picked and how he gets on the field in the first place. But it's a tough shout, man. But I really want to give credit to Cesc. For him to bounce back the way he did after getting pulled and having his head down and having to do that long walk to get off the pitch, he was so dejected. And that boy came back and put in a game yesterday. It wasn't all-star, all-stellar, but didn't, kept the mistakes minimal, didn't make any big, stupid mistakes. His positioning was great. He was up and down that flank. He shut down that side of the field. I think he did really, really well. And I'm very pleased that he did, because I think that, after what happened with him getting yanked so early, that I was really, really concerned that if we lose this kid to the mental side of things and he goes on that downward spiral now, that's one less option off the bench, and we don't have many as it is.
Because Reguilon, and I'm allowed to say this because Reguilon actually tweeted it. He had COVID. That's why, yes, when he wasn't playing. Yeah. But I think if they're all fit, I think he'll play the same team. So it's all down to the sports science guys to see how fit they're, because a lot of them were going down injured yesterday.
One thing to bear in mind, I think we've got 4 games in the space of 10, 11 days.
11 days, yeah.
11 days. Wow. So there has to be rotation.
Yeah.
You think so, wouldn't it?
You can't. I mean, that would just burn them out. It's especially as we're getting to the sort of, the sharp end of the season as well. They've had like 24, 25, 23 league games, however many cup games in there. They're going to be knackered. So I think we'll see Bergwijn play. I think we'll see Bergwijn start. I think we'll see Reggie start. I think we'll see Doherty start. I think we'll see Sanchez start. I think he's going to change a fair few, maybe up to as many as 4 players on Wednesday.
Did you say you think Sanchez will start?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I really hope you're wrong on that one, because I'd really see. We got to get Rodon in there. I don't understand what this kid's doing wrong or who he's pissed off behind closed doors. or what he's done, because he's so he plays very well when he's on the Welsh team, and all of a sudden he can't get a sniff in Tottenham. I don't know what he's done, but there's got to be something going on behind closed scenes.
Under 2 or 3 managers as well.
3 managers now. He hasn't got a shout, and apparently there's something going on about they're talking about his mentality or his attitude and so we don't know. Again, we don't know. Like you guys already touched on, we don't know about what's happening behind closed doors over there. So I hope he gets it together and he again is used as an option for us, because we need more options right now. It's so poor what we have in terms of being able to change the shape of our team and bring on some firepower, right? And I'd rather see this 11 kept in place for Burnley, because Burnley just had a great game against Brighton, so they're in form. Typical. We're going there, so I would like to kind of keep this team and maybe make the changes against Leeds, because Leeds came back against United, but they still ended up losing that game 4-2. So do we go with the team that's kind of coming off a high, or do we go off the team that kind of just, kind of bounced back against United, then ended up losing, and they might have something to come back for? It's, this is where in Conte we trust kind of thing, and hopefully he makes the right decisions to prepare these guys for, and which guy we need to use in which game, right?
Because we've also got, after Leeds, we've actually got Middlesbrough on the Tuesday in the cup game.
And then United right after that.
So it's a bit of a weird one. Just a very important point. Aaron has clocked it perfectly in that one. Ben also
he's what a reference, Aaron. He's great.
Ben also has clocked Winks. Seeing that he needs to work at Baskin Robbins.
No, he's not fast enough. You know how busy Baskin and Robbins is? Some of the lineups they get, he can't work
and
there.
Footlocker. So he's right on the money on that one, I think. Graham thinks we should keep a winning team. I would agree with you, Graham. That's what we should do. I don't think we will. Is what will happen, I think. What do you think, guys? I
don't know. I think
11 or different.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the same, purely because of Burnley's result, right, against Brighton. So I think they'll keep the same team, go and get the win early, then they can rest people and for the Leeds game. I think, because then otherwise, if we have to play the full strength team, then we're going to have to rest some players for Leeds, because obviously we're going to rotate for Middlesbrough, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Harvey White, Winks, Galini, all of these players will then play in the FA Cup game.
Lavernier.
So the question as well is that, we say, is he going to play the same team? But obviously against Burnley, it's going to be a different approach to the game. What I saw, I said to you, Nick, we were so compact yesterday. We're not going to play that compactly. If that's a word, it is now, against Burnley. We're going to be more expansive. So does that then elicit a change in personnel just anyway, regardless of squad management considerations?
Yeah, because we're going to have to break them down, aren't we? Because they're going to try and defend against us. So it's going to be picking a lock against a team that defends deep again, I think. So it's going to be
Ben. I think is setting up an employment agency.
Ben, good for you, Ben, for looking after these boys and finding them, proper opportunities.
Yeah,
because clearly the jobs they have, they cannot do.
Meaningful work. Yeah,
exactly. Contributing back to society. Why not?
Johnny Einstein, big up Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
he's had his spirits crushed by mention of Sanchez. Aaron raises a good point. If Skip is fit, does he get back in?
I think Skip's not going to be back for a bit.
Hypothetically,
he's got another 3 weeks to a month.
Yeah. I think the story is, and again, hypothetically, I think the story is, or speculation is that he had a groin injury and now his groin has been infected, so they got to get rid of the infection. That's not
hypothetical. That's not a hypothetical I meant. I meant if Skip is available. Let's say yesterday. If Skip is available at any point, do you change that winning team and bring him in?
If he's come back from an injury, I wouldn't. No, if he's coming back from an injury, I wouldn't. I'd have him on the bench and then maybe bringing him at the end of the game. Because you have to. I think you have to ease players in if they come back, especially a groin injury. I mean, I've had a groin injury, and it takes ages to get back. It really does. So
I know it's an unpopular view with a lot of people, but I'd always pick him over Højbjerg. He's got way more pace, way more energy about him.
Well, not with a groin injury.
We're not going to want to. Well, not at the moment. Well, even now he's probably quicker.
Cuba. You and LJ dropping, like Alan's just said, dropping that atom bomb. Gee, you're dropping another one now. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Højbjerg, it was the perfect game for Højbjerg yesterday. Backs against the wall, defending on the edge of the box. You do more than that. Højbjerg struggles to keep up with the play.
I see where you're coming from, Cooper. Actually, in a game that you have to go out and attack and win it, Skip's obviously the better option.
Might even see Winks in there. Yeah. As bad as he can be.
No, Cooper. No.
Well, as said it as well, you can't play the same team every week. We're going to have to rotate at some point.
Yeah.
Although I think our top 4 chances rely on this first 11 staying fit for the rest of the season and being able to play them as much as we possibly can.
Even if that includes Royal?
Yeah. Well, what's the alternative? Doherty.
Well, and that's what we come down to. You know, that's why that's the only part of the field that really scares the hell out of me still. You know, even yesterday, his crossing is so horrible. If he could put in a proper ball from that wing, we would have had many more opportunities. Like if Ben Davies can play balls up the flank, and you know that first goal that we scored because of Ben Davies getting the ball up to Sonny and him, you know, releasing him up that wing kind of thing, and then that cross ball that he played that ended up being the offside goal too. You know, that diagonal ball that he played from that side was fantastic. And if we can get somebody to start doing that from the right side again for us and start supplying these boys, because God knows we have the pace up there. So if we can get the ball up there to these guys, then we have something to really be, you know, be hopeful for, of course. But that's just
I think that's where Kulusevski comes in on that side, although he's
right wing back.
No, to help out Emerson when Emerson gets the ball. He's there in support, so he can take the ball. I know he cuts in on his left to cross it, but then needs a good cross on the ball. So
play Kulusevski as a right winger and Emerson as a right back. Then on the other side, you can have a wing back. It's a lopsided sort of team formation, but they could work.
I mean, that's how Mourinho's played when he first came to Tottenham. You know, have that, and only it's back 4, admittedly, but yeah, he used to have a fast forward, you know, right wing back and a proper left back, or the other way around.
So guys, we have at most we have 19 more games to play this season, right? That's the absolute maximum.
That's half the season.
Yeah. So the question is, can the same 11 players play 19 games?
Well, no, I don't think you can, but I think it's important that they play as many times as possible with that lineup where you got consistency,
right,
consistent defense. I mean, remember Mourinho used to change the back 4 literally every game. And you can't get that. I make this point all the time. It's the not muscle memory, but it's sort of a mental muscle memory that you play a system and you get to the stage where you play without even thinking about it. You do it naturally,
and you learn to trust the player beside you. And that's another issue that we've had. We don't have that trust. We don't think that this guy's going to cover for me, so I can go forward and come back. Like yesterday, we saw that.
Exactly.
Bentancur made a few mistakes and stuff, but first full game against the champions, I think that guy did fantastic, especially right at the end. That ball that he put out, you know, that ended up getting us 3 points was just absolutely fantastic. But you could see that they there was the one went forward, one dropped back, and that gap, there was never that big gap left open, which we've seen so many times before. Because when you see Winks and Højbjerg together, it's like there's no chemistry at all. There's no communication.
No,
you know, it's like they don't even know each other is on the field or where the other one is. And that's what creates these problems, and that's why we find Winks so unreliable. Because we know he's going to come in and put in an effort, but when your effort at top notch makes you average at best, it's not good enough, unfortunately. And I feel bad for the guy because I do like Winks, and he's just so inconsistent, and you know it's painful to see sometimes how great he can be, and he scores this wicked goal from, you know, the sidelines and this, and then this bending free kick in, and then all of a sudden the next game it's like we're all pulling our hair out saying, why is he on the field?
I agree, he's terrible, but we're going to have to rely on him to make some sort of contribution, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
We just won't get by on what
he will do. It's coming up to the transfer window soon, surely. So he'll start playing again.
Just very quickly on this one, is that Evertonian guy, Ben?
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You know what? I might have to talk to Ben about getting me a job because that way I can quit and be more on these streams. I found my new passion in life. So,
Graham, we're with you on that one, mate. I don't think any of us ever get tired of winning.
Well, we don't do it enough. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
I can enjoy this.
The day we get tired of winning is the day we turn into Manchester fucking City.
Oh.
And
you know what? I think that's the part of the journey of being a Spurs fan. It's because we don't expect to win, trophies. We don't expect to win the league. We don't have these high expectations, but we do expect our team to come out and put something on the field, give us a show at least, and just give us the ability to be proud of them and say, you know what, you tried, you went out there, you gave us a good game of football. And that's what we saw under Pochettino. And I think that's why our stature grew so dramatically under him, is because he gave us this brand and quality of football. It started with Martin Yule, and then from there, it just kind of stuck in. Like Martin Yule put that attacking flair in here, and then it carried on with Redknapp and whatnot and everything. And then, Pochettino came in and really, really stamped it down for us over the 5 years he was with us. And it was just beautiful to see, and it really increased our fan base and everything. And, I've said it 1,000 times. I don't care if you're a real fan or a plastic fan. You're cheering for Spurs, you're good in my books.
I have a theory. Tell me if this chimes with you guys. I think that when Pochettino came in, what he instilled, and not in a bad way, but what he instilled was fear. Because if you remember at the beginning, he had a load of sort of old guard players that some of them were even causing trouble in the dressing room, allegedly. And he showed a ruthlessness in getting rid of them that I think made the team that he then forged understand that along with the arm around the shoulder, which he also gave them, there was the threat of fear, or there was the threat of being cut. And that when Pochettino asked for the painful rebuild, which didn't come, that fear was sucked out of them and they became complacent. That
makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense to me personally. I think that's a very logical way to look at it and understand why it would happen. But sorry, guys, go ahead. Jamie, I think, is taking a nap up there, so let's get his input on this one.
I think Conte has more chance of getting what he wants than Poch ever did. But again, I really hope that Levy has painted himself into a corner and is going to have to put up or shut up, so we can actually get the team that we want, and he's going to have to deliver on.
I mean, that was the thing that annoyed me about all that reporting in the press that we talked about earlier about, the Conte interview, was that Conte was saying things that the fans are saying. That interview made me even feel more aligned with Conte than against him. In it, they try to make something out of it, right? And that's what yesterday was all about. Yesterday was all about Conte and the players and the fans all together and winning the game. It gives us, a flying swear word about what the board are doing at that particular moment. We've got these players, and that's what all it counts is getting that result. So, yeah, in the summer,
a swear word. Did you not want to swear? A flying bum. There you go. I swore.
Flying bum.
A
flying flower. I didn't give a flying flower about
flying flower.
Flower. Yeah. But yesterday was
you dropped an F-bomb. Carry on.
Yesterday was a victory for Conte, the club, and the fans. Oh, sorry, Conte, the players, and the fans. It was a victory for that. I felt yesterday.
And if we're getting these victories with this team, could you imagine what will happen if Levy finally opens his damn checkbook and backs Conte with the players he wants instead of wants to just get us to satisfy? Don't satisfy us as fans. Satisfy the manager.
Yeah.
Don't give us band-aid solutions. Stop getting players just for the sake of it. I firmly believe that we were lucky to get these two in. That they weren't even on the agenda really, but we got them through because Juventus needed the money for Vlahovic. Okay, so we took care of that. But we are getting very lucky that they're coming to fruition for us because Kulu looked fantastic yesterday. Bentancur looked good. I think he's going to slot right in. But Kulu, with the way it's looking with a little bit of game time, dare I say he's going to be almost as up there with our old boy Teddy Sheringham, my favorite of all time. But he's got that. It looked like he had some really good mentality. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do.
But what the club has to do now, or the back room of the club and the scouting network, now they have to be preparing for next season. So Conte has obviously said what he wants. So it's now up for the scouting network to find these players, and also for Daniel Levy, who, let's face it, is Joe Lewis's right-hand man, is to go back to ENIC and say, we need this sort of money, because they've never put any money into the club that we hadn't made ourselves. There's no personal money from Joe Lewis. Like, you got your Sheiks and your Arabs that are Abramovich's putting their personal money into their relative clubs.
And lots of it.
Joe Lewis has done nothing like that. So,
and if they sell the club, they will have made profit off the back of our money.
Exactly.
I don't have an inherent objection to someone making a profit, right? But where essentially they have unloaded all of the risk on us, right? We are the ones taking the risk. It's not their money that's at risk. It's not really our money either because we've paid it. It's gone, right? But it's such an unequal relationship. It's all the onus, all of the sort of problems, if you like, are shouldered by us, the fans, while they get to play the game that they play in the hope that they can walk away with a massive profit if they decide to sell.
Yeah.
Right. That to me is morally bankrupt if they act in a fashion that doesn't include our views and our wants and our desires into their business planning. Right? They are treating our club entirely as a corporate entity, right?
Oh, yeah.
If Coca-Cola, for instance, their shareholders don't put money in, that's fine. That's a business. You live and die according to what you deliver for your customers, right? If anything, that should be more than that for us, for Spurs. It should be not just they live and die on what they deliver for us, but live and die on what we want from the company. Whereas someone who buys Coke can always go and buy Pepsi, you know?
You're spot on, Rez. But this is what I mean. That's what Levy has to be doing. Now they have to be setting up next season. Now that's what they've got to be doing, setting up finances for next season. Paratici, I'm sure Paratici's doing this, but he should be sounding out players to go for so that we can hit the ground running as soon as the window opens. Get these players in before we go on the wonderful pre-season tour to South Korea.
Yeah.
We've got to get these players in so they can bond with the club during the pre-season thing, have all the pre-season training so we hit the ground running when we get the first match of the season. Not all this bollocks that's been going on before where we sign players on the last day of the window, which next in the summer will be after the season already started. Get it all done early, get it all done.
We don't do it that early normally. We don't wait till the last day of the window. We wait till the last hour of the window.
Yeah, exactly.
It's magic. But like you said, we have to. I hope Paratici gets unleashed. I hope, honestly, Levy takes the leash off and says, this is what I'm paying you to do. Go and do it.
Yeah. The other thing to bear in mind as well is that the season, I believe, is starting a little earlier as well because of the travesty that's happening
in the World Cup,
in what's it called? In Qatar in December. So, we've got even less time to sort of bed in new players. I mean, everyone will have the same effect, but it's going to be pronounced for us because the window is the same. It closes at the end of August, right? So we would have played more games by the time that window closes, and so we'd have less games ahead for those players to bed in.
Yeah,
Well, why not just buy lots of players that aren't going to the World Cup then?
Well,
don't even say it. Levy might be listening.
We've decided we're not going to buy any internationals. I mean,
Levy's got a big smile on his
face. Young, hungry, non-league players. That's
non-league players, exactly.
That have resale value.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it,
we tried in the window. We tried to get that kid from Lewis, if you remember, the Arsenal fan.
That's
who
right.
Oh,
Harry
Tanner, something, Connor Tanner,
yeah,
something
that's
like
the
that,
guy.
or whatever
I
the
mean,
hell. Ollie Tanner.
Yeah, Ollie
It's
Tanner.
only that's how much he's worth, a Tanner.
That's the thing.
I think that's a bit too much. About £9.50 too much there. He's an Arsenal fan.
No, a tanner in English coinage was an old. I think it was a threepence or something like that. Or sixpence. There you go.
Sixpence. Okay, so sorry, I just
Half a
overvalued
shilling.
him by 44p. My mistake.
Yeah.
No. You overvalued him by about £9.40p.
Yeah.
It's only worth about 10 cents.
The point here is the fact that this is what irritates me, though, what I've seen, right? Again, we've got people going out there, oh, where are all the Levy outers now after yesterday? It's like one result, one transfer window.
I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still here. And the point is this: if Bentancur and Kulusevski turn out to be great signings for us, they will still be accidental, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. They will be signings that we had to make because can you imagine the furore of going another transfer window, not as in back-to-back, but yet another transfer window without signing anyone, right?
The only reason that these guys bought those two players is to make sure that Brian Daigle and his team that was set up outside that ground, outside of Enfield, did not have more people turn up.
To defang them, absolutely. And it was those that saw through that still attended. You know, they still said this is not enough. And it wasn't enough. And listen, for me, that doesn't make. Let's say, for instance, Kulusevski and Bentancur. You know, Kulusevski wins Young Player of the Season, and Bentancur wins Player of the Season for their phenomenal contributions to Spurs. That doesn't change how bad the transfer window was. You don't base your judgment of decisions made on the outcome. You base it on whether or not it was made according to the information that you had at the time. The information we had at the time wasn't that we knew that these two players were going to be good, because you never have that information. Yeah. So the decision has to be on stuff like timing, price, where you got them from, when you got them. You know, those things all point to an extremely poor transfer window, regardless of what the actual outcome was. And these are the things that we have to keep fighting against, and talking about the fact that we are being scalped because we're a captive audience. We are being scalped and being asked to carry the can for our club so that two already billionaires can go off and make even more profit, right? If they want to make a profit, I'm happy for them to do that. If they want to property speculate, I'm happy for them to do that, as long as they are accountable to us as fans and also do things that the fans want with their club, because it's ours, not theirs. Yeah? It's
ours to support. It's theirs to fleece.
Well, that's the way they treat it. And it shouldn't be like that.
Hollywood Phil and I were talking yesterday about questions to our Spurs fans. And he came out with a beauty, I think, to fuel the Levy out side of things. And that is, if you look at the squad we have today and then compare it to the squad we had under Glenn Hoddle when ENIC took over, tell me which one's the better squad. It's a bit of homework for everybody. Because for me, my jaw dropped. We were better back then. We had better. Yeah. We had a better all-round squad.
Your jaw may be dropping.
Yeah.
Your jaw may be dropping over the squad difference, but my eyes are dropping. So I'm going to be.
Jamie, I was going to say, I'm looking at you. I'm falling asleep over here, man.
Well, I'm suggesting that the Gugamar may want to consider going to bed too, because it's 1:30 in the morning here, and it's actually an hour further in Seoul.
She's already asleep. She's already asleep. That's why she doesn't have a camera, so she can sleep. She's
been napping the whole time.
Okay, well, carry on the good fight, and let's have Burnley be a 3-pointer. And come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Nice to meet you, Jamie.
Leave you out. Yeah, see you again.
Sleep well, mate.
Get some rest, buddy. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
So yeah, Yeah, they're custodians. No more, no less. Absolutely spot on the money.
Which ironically is what Daniel Levy said in his message the last day of the White Hart Lane. That last game of the season, the last game at White Hart Lane, and they had the presentation and all that, the choir and that. There was a message from the chairman. And that's what he said. He said, "Oh, this club will be here hundreds, years after I've gone. We are just custodians." So it's, it's
the sooner that starts, the better.
Well, exactly. That's right. And it's. I mean, I don't honestly mind the NFL playing there or the concerts. Fine, but as long as it goes back into the football club, and the football club is the top of the pyramid.
Yes.
But at the moment, it seems to be the bottom of the pyramid.
It's at the bottom. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I say, Brad. Yep. Yeah. They've lost their vision completely. We are strictly, we hear about these non-for-profit companies. We are strictly for-profit company.
Yeah.
It's like I've said, I've said it in a few of the other streams as well. I'm terrified if somebody came to buy us now with a concrete offer, because based on what we're looking at, they would only be buying us as a business entity. They would not be buying us as a football club, because right now our on-field product is just above average at best, and that's only because we're being carried by a handful of players. But if you look at the rest of the squad, nobody would want to inherit these people. Nobody would want to take this on and say it, because they know how much money needs to be invested and how much of a project it really is. The only way I said it the other day when I was on Spurs Related, and I said the only hope I have is that we get these some sort of Arab consortium in that wants to play, have a pissing contest, for lack of better words, with the big boys that are here, and say, you're going to splash this much money, I'm going to splash even more than you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hoping for. And with, Newcastle is just going to be a beast to deal with in the next few years. They terrify me, and they've got owners with seriously deep pockets. And like you already said, Rez, we've got owners with deep pockets, but we have owners that will not put money into our on-field product, and that's what's sad.
I mean, it speaks to the bigger problem in football, and this is the real elephant in the room that the fan-led review didn't mention, is that there have to be financial controls in English football. There have to be, because believe me, we will, if we don't do that now, within 5 years, the league will be won every year by Man City, Chelsea, or Newcastle. Year in, year out. Okay? There will be no space for anyone else. None. Okay?
Because they've got the money, yeah.
Because they've got the money. Look at La Liga. Okay?
So sorry to correct you, Rez. You don't mean that the league is going to be won. You mean the league is going to be bought. But carry on.
Yes, correct. Absolutely. But look at La Liga. It's Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico. Right?
And Atletico just got in there.
And Atletico just got in there. There's a sort of like they're the tiny little one that sometimes manages to challenge the others. Who else has won La Liga other than those ones on even close to consistently when it wasn't
years?
Yeah.
Italy's the same thing. You got Inter, Juventus, maybe Roma climbs up there. AC Milan used to be a competitor, and all of a sudden they've dropped off, and you're down to having a 2 or 3 team league over there as well. England is the most competitive place to be.
For now, but it won't be soon. Or you know what? Part of me thinks that Chelsea might start to drop away, because I think Abramovich might have had enough. But even then, it will just be a 2-horse race.
Especially if they invade the Ukraine. It's going to freeze all his assets anyway. So
there are things that there is an upside to every situation, like the Ukraine.
No comment. But
I think Barry sleeping? Or Nick or Nathaniel
I'm looking up about what you said about the Spanish league and who'd won the
title.
And now, out of curiosity, who outside of those 3 teams, what was the last club to win it? Sevilla in 1968?
No, Valencia 2003-4.
2000. Okay, so 19 years ago.
Yeah, Valencia 2001-2, and then Deportivo La Coruña in 99-2000. Then apart from that, it's been those 3 up until Atletico Bilbao in 1983-84.
But if I may, isn't La Liga? But no, isn't Barcelona owned by the fans?
The government.
Yes, it is. Yeah. No. Real is it's not owned by the guy. They might have bailed them out, but they're technically owned by the fans. But the thing about it is that within Spain, in actual fact, the history of Real Madrid and Barcelona goes all the way back to the Civil War. Barcelona was the sort of socialist, worker-owned club that was on the side of, the side that fought against Franco. Real was the side that was basically Royal Madrid, run by the what's it called, the sort of right wingers, and that has continued. That sort of rivalry has continued all through Franco's time, and all of that stuff. Real Madrid is the establishment club. Barcelona is the working man's club, basically.
Which reminds me of a going off point a bit of the description of the rivalries between supporters and the Celtic Rangers. Religious rivalry. What was the other one? There was Liverpool, Everton, and Man United. Man City was basically, the rich versus the poor at the time. And
my understanding, the United Liverpool one was that whole dock thing. The whole
Liverpool rivalry is between families. It's a family rivalry. So you have teams that are split, families that split. Liverpool, Everton. So it's a family rival. No, that's it. Okay. Celtic Rangers is religious. Man City, Man United is jealousy. Liverpool Everton is family feud. And Spurs Arsenal is a neighbour dispute that happened 40 years ago, or 100 years ago, that everyone's forgot what it was about, but they're still hanging on about it.
Nice.
But we still hate them.
Oh yeah.
At least that's the way I'm raising my children. My wife's like, no, we shouldn't have hate in our heart, honey. It's okay for one thing.
Yes.
One
yes.
thing.
You know what? When I used to live in Australia, the Spurs-Arsenal rivalry sort of started to ebb away from me living over in Australia. And it wasn't when I came back here in 93, 94, and then 95 to live that I suddenly realised the rivalries were, oh, wow, this is intense, man. You sort of, and I got it
rekindled the hatred.
Yeah.
I see Guguma there is ready to leave us and finally fall asleep. Are you still awake, Guguma?
Sorry, yes.
Hey, she is still there.
I think I should get some sleep. I'm sorry.
Feel free. No, it's absolutely.
I didn't think you did sleep, so good for you.
I have to sometime.
Pleasure to finally hear your voice and see you in all the chats. You're a rock star.
Pleasure to see you too. Thank you.
I appreciate the support you've given me and the kind words you've given me over the last few streams and everything. So I just want to express my appreciation and gratitude for that. So thank you very much.
Big love to you, Guguma. Thank you for being on.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Have a good night. Get some rest. Take care.
Bye.
Bye now.
So I think we're coming to the tail end of it, guys.
I was going to say, Rez, because I got about 5 more minutes before Mum and Dad are banging on the door with my cake.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Well, I'm gonna have a totally non-football
evening.
Some documentaries on whatever.
I thought you meant go and watch West Ham.
Oh, I thought you were going to watch the documentaries on Spurs against City, because then you could just see us winning consistently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Champions League
I need to go and clean my kitchen up because it's a mess, and I haven't had a chance to do my chores this weekend. So yes.
Well,
somebody's got to do it, Rez.
So I don't know why you need to tidy up your kitchen, or have you left it?
It's an old Australian.
It's since Friday. It's since Friday, Nathaniel.
Rez, may I just suggest you time travel 2 days back to when it was clean?
They'll be after me for my time machine.
Oh, sorry.
There's an Australian
Sorry, no English.
There's an Australian advert for beer, and it's set in a pub, and it's a couple of Australian cricketers. Rodney Marsh comes in, and he said, "Oh, I haven't seen you. G'day, Rodney. I haven't seen you in for a while. What have you been doing?" He goes, "Oh, I've been doing my chores." "Oh, what chores?" "I'll have a pint of Foster's, thanks, mate."
Nice.
And that was a proper advert, for beer, yeah.
Foster's
European adverts are the best. You gotta see ours are so restricted and boring. It's not funny.
Well, actually, if you go to Australia, you do not order a Foster's in Australia. You don't get it. It's an overseas beer. Yeah.
Foster's is the only beer that they have to advertise in Australia because otherwise no one would buy it.
Wow. Yeah, it's all every state. I don't know if it's the same in Canada, but every state in Australia has their own beer, and it's really you've got to be really parochial to drink your state's beer, sort of thing. Don't drink the other state's beer. Yeah, it's really.
You have a lot of private crafting companies here and stuff like that, especially over the last few years. They've started to really
Yeah,
to move up. But you can get everything everywhere. It's not like this is your district only, and you can't have us here.
I'm not sure about Australia now because I haven't lived there for a while, but I know over here with all the different, the craft beer companies coming up and that sort of thing. But in Australia now is really, really, really. You can only buy your state's beer in the pubs you went to. It's probably changed a bit now, but yeah, it's very, very parochial. So you'd have Swan Lager in Perth, Coopers and Southwark in Adelaide. You have I can't think of one. Oh, and of course Queensland used to have Castlemaine 4X.
Yeah.
I mean, the joke was because Queenslanders can't spell beer.
Right, guys.
Tooheys. That's the one. That's the one in Sydney.
So let's draw this wonderful thing to a close. Let's go around and each of you tell us where we can find you further. Nathaniel, I know where I can find you, and you know where you can find me. But just for the benefit of everyone watching, where can we find you, sir?
Well, I know. I realise you have my home address now, so you can actually find me. Oh dear, you can find me.
You're afraid.
Nathaniel, Fred, Barry, Seamus, because Aaron's still here. On Shelfside Spurs on a Thursday evening with Rez next to me on that side.
Yeah, that side, yeah.
So yeah, just I think we started this show off a little bit Shelfside Spurs like, and then it's turned into a bit of a history and a bit more cultural, which I think probably what Eugene expected of us rather than the debauchery that we normally cause on a Thursday evening. So yeah, find us there. You can find us on hopping in and out of other streams and causing mayhem.
Who have we got coming on Shelfside Spurs in a couple of weeks? Nick?
We have got Steve Perryman coming on. So
we had
Mickey Hazard a couple of weeks ago, and we now have Steve Perryman. So big thank you to our own Alatici, our Paratici, getting the signings. So maybe Levy might sign him up because he's managed to get 2 signings in a matter of weeks. So maybe we need him to go and sign some players because he's getting the deals done quickly, like we should want. So yeah, catch us there. You'll find me on other streams if I'm invited or not invited. I will find a way on.
If I'm invited, I turn up, and if I'm not invited, I turn up. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nick. Brad, where can we find you?
Well, there my Twitter handle is in the.
No, we want your home address.
Yeah. Well, if you're single, female, and attractive, then my home address is I'm on a few of the streams from time to time. Occasionally on Tommy Talks Ball, on Let's Talk Tottenham. I'm always on the Irish Hotspur Fan Show on a Monday night. I'm on this one generally every Sunday when Spurs aren't playing at home, and any other channel that will have me every now and again. So I'm around. So click like and subscribe to this channel because it's really, really excellent. And click like and subscribe to Shelfside Spurs and any other channel, the one that Kuva's going to mention, one that Bobby K might mention. But just click like and subscribe to every single Tottenham content creator. It doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly. Correct. One great community.
And do you twiddle or twaddle or whatever it's called?
I don't tweet a lot, but I do tweet a bit and then retweet, do a lot of retweets and that. But
and the Twitter handle is there at Brad.
Yeah, Hotspur. At Brad Hotspur.
Mr. Kuva 99, where can we find you, sir?
Well, technically, I'm sort of freelance now. I've had enough of doing shows every single day. Spurs wore me down. I had enough of it. I wanted to
suck the life out of it.
Not serious. I just got so sick of it. I'm going to step back and do shows when I feel like it, rather than feeling like I need to. But I'm working a bit with Sean Butler on Spurs Talk Show as well at the moment. Doing a bit of co-hosting with him because we're not going on every day. That's the appeal there, and trying to do something a bit different, a bit more game show sort of style, a bit more soccer AM than some of the other channels. Just trying to liven it up, have a bit of fun with it rather than just constantly serious talk. That's what I favour nowadays anyway. that's why, see Rez on a stream. I know it's not going to be anything serious. So
let's have a laugh.
So, straight on. Yeah. Otherwise, some of the other channels. I love Mari's Love Lounge and things like that. It change your pace. Spurs Wage and I love Will Stewart's as well. But as Brad said, go around all the channels. If there's something, any content you like, just give them a little like and a subscribe, because it keeps all of our channels going and everybody feels the love. We've got a great Spurs community. You see people in different channels all over the place. Let's just keep it going like that. Be good to each other.
Agreed.
That's it.
And Bobby, where can we find you, sir?
Like Kuva, I'm just a freelancer. I'm a ghost that's going to jump into all of your channels. You guys have all you've given me my debut here today, so I was lucky to get started enough with Tottenham on tour. We are Tottenham TV, Spurs related. Hopefully Nick and I were speaking. Depending on what time, I can hopefully jump in there one day and join you guys over there as well. I'm loving. Like Kuva said, I just love being a part of this community. What a way to meet.
If you do come on Shelfside Spurs, just one quick word of warning: wear waterproof underpants.
I always do.
Yes,
I'm a bus driver. I wear my Depends and my waterproof all the time.
Okay, excellent. That's fine.
No, like I said, I just really appreciate this opportunity everybody's given me to make new friends. It's great to, like I said at the beginning, it's great to be able to share. Misery loves company, but what a day it is when we get to share our happiness and our joy together. And it's like to see these smiling faces in front of me and everything, and we have this wonderful community. I really, really am loving it. I'm appreciating everybody in the comments and everything. I've met new friends, Aaron there and everything, and all the other people that are in there, Gaguma and everything like that. And it's just been a really, really awesome experience. It's even Ben and everybody, and everybody's so positive and encouraging, and it's great because consistently over here where I am in Canada, we are a very small number, the Spurs fan, whereas everybody else has a large number, and we're always getting ragged on and made fun of and kind of put down. So it's nice to be able to be around people that share our positivity and our hope for better times ahead. That's all we can cling on to, right? So again, I thank you all. I really do appreciate it. I'm having a great time doing this and getting a kick out of it. So thank you for giving me a slot in your shows, and who knows, maybe in the future put something together. But I don't see it happening, honestly. I like Kuva. I like kind of just jumping in here when I have the opportunity and the time based on my availability. So
I got one more thing before we close.
Mm-hmm.
Kuva, we were going to get you on to do your White Hart Memory Lane, but you didn't mention our channel this week, so we're going to have to push you back a couple of weeks now.
Yeah. I get Kuva slot this Thursday. Yes.
Right, I'm erasing my memory, so you'll never get me on that.
You disappoint me. I think I speak for everyone when I say it's been an absolute pleasure to have you, Bobby. Thank you for joining.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
It's great. It's always nice to have another voice, and it's a nice one to hear. So thank you for coming on. Thank you to all the panel, everyone who is still here, and everyone who was here earlier. I just want to go through and thank everyone in the chat as well. So thank you to Ben, Ian Meth, Mark Swift, Brad Matthews. Who's Brad Matthews?
Where are the Matthews brothers?
Catman, Catman Jess, Gaguma was also in the chat, so thank you to her. Aaron Duve, going through. I'm hoping I'm not missing anyone as we go through here. Ellie was here.
Bob
Thank
Spur
you
was here. Yeah, Graham.
I'm doing it in order, guys.
Oh, sorry. Trying to help.
We don't believe in logic. Don't forget Lookman.
Am I going to have to put you guys into timeout again? Prithvi was in there. Eugene, thank you for coming and doing, well, basically being the host, which you're supposed to. Bobby, you were in the things. Graham, good to see you as well. Ricky Villa, Graham, the other Graham, good to see him too. Jason Groves, Nick, you were in the comments. You just can't stop yourselves, you guys. Like comment and talking. I mean, for crying out loud, what's going on here?
We're glory hogs.
Alan Harris, thank you for coming. Alexander Hilton and his marvelous steaks. Bob Spur, the mighty Bob Spur, hopefully, fingers crossed now, fully with both feet on the road to recovery. Looking to see him soon. Kuva in the comments too. Brian Daigle, the absolute legend. Wonderful to see him and have him on as well. And I think that, and Jamie, obviously, who hosted and was
Aaron.
there too. Aaron, yeah, I said Aaron. And I think that is everyone who
Sean
was
Butler.
What about this? What about Alexander Hilton?
I said his steak. Wonderful steak. Yes, indeed. He was in there.
He was the steak man. Right. Okay.
The planet Saturn and all of her rings.
Okay, and just to correct me, Rez always pronounced my name in Scottish Gaelic. I'm Irish. It's Dove, not Do, phonetically. Unfortunately, I'm a Scotophile, so I'm probably going to get it wrong. So fantastic show. Thank you to everyone. I'm just gonna bring you all out one by one and say a final goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Until then,
day, guys. Thanks a lot. Until next time.
So, all on my lonesome. Jamie's gone to bed. Eugene's gone to bed. So it's just me. Thank you to everyone again. Thank you for watching. Big up Spurs. In the words of Brian Daigle, Levy out and come on, you Spurs. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.